Hi, it was a pleasure being with you this week on Shnayim Yomi. Great organization, Shnayim Yomi. The Gemara says in Brachas, if you're mashing your parshas with the tzibur, marichin la yama v'shnoisav, you get this school of living a long life. So again, join Shnayim Yomi if you haven't joined yet, and have that school like they did in the Yeshivas Volozhin. Every morning they did one aliyah. That's what Shnayim Yomi is about. Keep it up. I want to share with you a thought on Parashat Bo. We have the mitzvah, V'yigad levincha b'yom hahu. The mitzvah is to tell your children about Yetzias Mitzrayim. But what are you supposed to highlight when you talk to them? Ba'avur zeh asa Hashem li b'tzeisi mitzrayim. Highlight the fact that you feel that you yourself left Egypt. Because when you're talking to your kids, we don't want to be lecturing, and we don't want to be giving over long monologues. We want to be talking about personal experiences. Chinuch is most impactful when it's coming from a point of personal experience of the parent. Asa Hashem li b'tzeisi. When I left, not even the Yitzia per se. It's how and when I left Mitzrayim. That's what my kid's going to hear the most. You know, I remember when I was a bacher, I had this connection with this great Talmid Chacham, and he had 12 kids. Each one was a star. And I went over to him and I said, you know, Rabbi, when I get married and I have children in Mir Hashem, I want to come to you for chinuch lessons. And he said to me, if you come to me after you have kids, you're already too late. You got to start chinuch beforehand. Obviously, if you haven't started yet, get going. But chinuch is not about knowing how to raise kids. It's about knowing how to serve Hashem in a personal way so you can give it over to them. Yes, there's a lot to learn about how to give it over, but it doesn't begin there. It begins with you yourself. Asa Hashem li b'tzeisi mitzrayim. But you know what's most important to focus on when you're educating your kids? The Ramban says it beautifully at the end of Parashat Bo. And these are the words of the Ramban, and they're harsh, and they're truthful, and they're real. Listen to this Ramban. He says, you know why Hashem has to make so many great miracles? Because from the Nisim HaGedolim, Vayaduim, he says, from the big miracles, we take an important lesson. The lesson is that those small, insignificant acts in life, those are also miracles. And now he says the following phrase, She'ein la'adam chelik b'Torahs Moshe. A person has no part in the Torah of Moshe Rabbeinu. Ad shenamin, until he believes, until we believe, shekol mikrenu, all of our events, all of our random events, vidvarenu, all the things that happen to us. Kulam nisim ein behem teva uminhagay shel olam. They're all miracles. We're living in a bubble of miracles. That's the Jewish emunah. That's what I'm giving over to my kids. I want my kids to be eating cereal in the morning and to be eating miracles. I want them to understand this is not cereal. No Kellogg's, Nisim. We're living with Nisim. Ein behem teva uminhagay shel olam. The Ramban says, don't look at life like it's a string of natural events, natural order, minhagay shel olam, regular patterns. Rather, see from the big nisim how your life is a custom narrative of small nisim happening to you. And the Ramban goes on and he says you have to remind yourself constantly that if you do mitzvahs, Hashem's protecting you and helping you. You don't do mitzvahs, don't expect to succeed. This is the topic of chinuch. You know, my son told me the other day, my son is 20 years old, his friends went up north in Eretz Yisrael to spend the night there, and they came back halfway through the night in a car. The fellow driving the car, Baruch Hashem, they were all belted, 5 boys. The fellow driving the car didn't see a traffic circle, going full speed, runs into the traffic circle, the car flips over twice, and the driver walks out unscathed. 2 other boys are minorly injured. The car turned over 2 times, and everybody's okay. We don't need a nace like that to realize if you're getting into a car and you get to shul, that's also a nace. Baruch Hashem, you got there. The Ramban is teaching us you have no chelik in Torah unless you could recognize that. But give that message to the kids. Let the children hear that from you. Hashem did what to me? What is He doing to me? The hashgacha pratis that's always happening to me in my life. That's the content of chinuch. So take your selfies. Stop the selfies. Enough with the hamburgers. How about nisim ein behem teva uminhagay shel olam? That's going to be the backbone that's going to cause generations of great Jews. Lamanta saper ba'aznei bincha, the pasuk says in the beginning of the parsha. Ube'aznei ben bincha. Your grandkids are going to come to you and say, Saba, Teach me more about Yetzias Mitzrayim. Why? Because you're living the Emunah in a real way. It's my story. It's not yours. It happened to me. I am seeing these Nisim on an ongoing basis. I have a chelik in Taras Moshe. I know that Tavam and Hagish Olam is not where it's at. It's Nisim Nistarim on a regular basis. I want to thank you again for joining Shnayim Yomi. And if you have any questions or any issues, send it in. I'd love to hear it. Have a great Shabbos.